I am very, 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 very happy that I managed to get hold of this particular perfume. So you might have seen already that I do have the original Prerogative by Britney Spears, and I like it a lot actually. The more I wear it, the more I like it. And this is 100 ml of the eau de parfum of the flanker of Prerogative called Ego. I think this is the last one that was released, and I think it's probably been discontinued because it's a bit harder to find now. But I managed to get this on eBay, and I have actually since then seen it on quite a few other places, so it's definitely worth googling. And I'm telling you, I think it's really worth getting this one. I'm wearing this today. I'm really, really into it now. This pretty much has the same notes as the other one, so as the original Prerogative. I do believe that Prerogative Rave has a different set of notes and quite a different scent profile, and if I see that one for a bargain, I will get it. The only reason I'm not willing to spend too much money on that one is because I've heard a few people say that they can really smell the jasmine in it, and I don't really like jasmine, so I've got to be careful with jasmine. But this one, the notes, it doesn't have a top, middle and base, so just the general notes are here. The notes are apricot, sandalwood, amberwood, coffee, arum lily, saffron, goji berries and pink pepper. Now, it's very similar notes, if not possibly identical notes to what's in the original Prerogative. And it is similar, but it's not the same. I was watching a video from quite a popular perfume YouTuber about this one, and she insisted that it smelled exactly the same as Prerogative, and I massively disagree with that, because I would describe this as the original Prerogative but with very, very amped up fruits. So the original one it's creamy, there's a bit of coffee, there's something caramelly about it, it's super warm, really nice, really easy to wear, very, very tasty, very, very lush. I'd almost say that kind of smells like it has a kind of Dolce de Leche note in. It's kind of like a much lighter, more natural, less plasticky version of Private Show to me. It's got that same kind of profile, but it's not cloying, it's just lovely and easy to wear. This one, it's still creamy. It still has a little bit of that kind of, you get a tiny bit of the coffee, you maybe get a tiny kind of caramelly vibe to it because it is very warm. It's definitely warm. But this is very heavy in the apricot and very, to my nose, very, very even more heavy in the goji berry. I get a lot of goji berry in this, and I've got quite a few perfumes that have goji berry in, so I've kind of learnt to recognise that smell. So this, it's still warm, it's still creamy. I'm just going to put some more on now because I'm wearing it at the moment. Oh, yeah, you've definitely got that original DNA, but there's definitely more fruit in it. It's definitely more fruity. Oh, but it's so, so pretty. It's very much, like I said, it's very much the original Prerogative, but with very amped up apricot, very amped up goji berry, and a little bit less coffee, maybe a little bit less kind of the peppery and the sandalwoody kind of notes, but just enough still to kind of anchor it down to give it a lovely warm base. It's very pretty, very easy to wear. It's got a little bit of projection, and you can smell it on yourself for maybe like 4 hours if you get it on your clothes more. But it's not heavy. This is not a heavy perfume. You can massively overspray these Prerogative perfumes, and you're not going to be cloying. You're not going to overwhelm yourself. They're just really easy to wear, even if, like me, you're quite fussy and you're not very good with like very strong perfumes. So I just think this is great. I'm really, really chuffed with it. I'm very glad that I got it. I think it's a lovely perfume. I think it's absolutely worth looking for. It's worth searching for. I got this one on eBay, so it's a bit scratched, and she stuck the lid down with packing tape, but it means it's taken off some of the paint and it's left some sticky residue. But I don't really care as long as what's in it is cool. So I really like this one. I really like the original one. I don't know which one I'd pick to like most. I like both of them very, very much. And I definitely, if I see Rave for cheap, I'm going to try that one, because I'm interested to see whether that delivers a bit more of the promised kind of woody unisex vibe that I was expecting from the original Prerogative. I just kind of felt like, I mean, I think this one's actually for women, and I think the original Prerogative is supposed to be unisex. So maybe that's partly what the difference is. The fruits are amped up because it's equally as kind of sweet, equally as creamy, but it is maybe slightly more feminine because of those fruits, you know, because it is quite fruity. And the original Prerogative is maybe, still I think it's very feminine for a unisex fragrance, but I think a man would smell delicious in it, don't get me wrong. So I didn't really get much of the kind of unisex vibes from that. So I'm just kind of interested to see if Rave gives that, even though I think Rave looks like it's got raspberry in it, so that might be fruity as well. But if it's kind of stronger in the kind of more masculine elements, like maybe the woods and spices and stuff, then it might be really interesting, that one. But yeah, like I said, I haven't really seen it for a cheap enough price for me to want to try it yet, but I will definitely try and get myself a bottle of that. Because yeah, as it turns out, most of the Britneys not for me at all, but the Prerogative range, the two of the three that they released, two of them I'm massively into. I might actually say that I have loved wearing both of them, loved them. And I would also say, if you can't get hold of either of them and you live in the UK, then I do recommend, there's a couple from the Scentology range that you can get from Boohoo that's like, I think it's like £10 for 100ml. There's one called Velvet Latte Vanilla Woods, and that one really, really reminds me of a slightly less fruity version of the original Prerogative. And then something about this one, because of the fruits in it, there's a Scentology one that's called Floriental Mandarin. Now they don't at all like smell the same, but for some reason they give me a similar vibe. Almost like when I first smelt that, it gave me a slight goji berry vibe, and then it's kind of creamy and sweet in the dry down. So yeah, I mean, they're all four of those perfumes, to be honest, are worth getting hold of if you like a lighter scent but you want sweet stuff, you know. So yeah, I'm really chuffed about this one. I'm really glad that I tried the Prerogative range, because of all the Britney ones, I think they're the easiest to wear. They're the least kind of cloying. They're not so sweet that they're painful. Then, you know, they're just kind of easier. They smell a bit more natural to me. They smell a bit less childish and a bit more grown up. So, and nothing wrong with childish scents. I mean, I've got some that are literally made for children, but I don't necessarily like to go out smelling like I'm wearing like a kind of cheap body spray that I would have worn when I was 12. Do you know what I mean? So these, I think, just have a slightly more grown up vibe while retaining that very lovely creamy yummy sweetness that everyone likes to smell yummy. I mean, you know, I'm just really chuffed with them. I think they're great.